Hi, this is one of my topics for the Project Resilience. I'm going to be doing an interview with my mom on one time when she faced resilience. This is my mom.
Hello,
What's your name?
my name is Grace.
Okay. Anything else you would like? Any additional facts that you would like my teacher to know?
No, I'm a teacher. I love working with kids. I've always, since I was little, so that's basically it. Yeah.
Right. So, what topic did you choose for a time that you faced resilience?
I think it was, well, for me, it was when my mom passed away. She passed away when I was young, and she was young herself. I think she was only 47 years old. And at that time, I had just turned 20 that summer.
How did you feel when you found out about your mom, and what did you do before this when you knew she was gonna pass away soon?
I kind of knew, I think my mom prepared me for it. Like she would constantly say, okay, when I pass away, this is what you're going to do, or this is what I want, or something like that. So she kind of prepared me in a mental state. Of course, there's so much emotions that come with something like that, that you're brave and you overcome it, but then you're stressed at the same time. Especially me at that time, I was 20, and I was the oldest, so it was kind of expected of me to take on some responsibilities in some ways. Well, not that it was so much expected that people would say that you had to do this, because that was never ever projected, but I felt it, better said. I had my younger brother, who I think he was 15 at the time, so I worried about him. And then my other brother was just going to start going to college, and he was going to Berkeley. And I remember just being concerned about him and thinking, oh my gosh, he's going to be over there. My mom's not going to be there. So all of these kind of feelings, or basically emotions that come up, even though I kind of knew, because my mom kept on telling me, she gave me that kind of prepare me in a sense. Like my brothers, like she never talked to that to my brother, but to me she did. So, yes.
Did you have any coping strategies while going to the hospital back and forth?
What I found that really helped me at that time, and I talked to my brothers about it, and I think how I dealt with it was after her passing more so. I mean, I think it was, what was heavy for me before was going to the hospital every day. That was heavy. It was, I don't know, it was just an awkward, I don't know how to explain it. It's just some heaviness of just the minute, like at a certain time when my dad got out of work, we all went to the hospital to go see my mom, and then we came home. It was just a routine, but it was heaviness because that's all we did. And so,
right.
But how I coped with it was, after she passed away, was walking and listening to music. And I remember it was just finding myself and being alone. Actually, I was by myself because nobody was there. I would just go on long, long walks, and I remember just getting some sense that I would remember. And I was like, and it would take me straight to a memory. So at that time, that's what I was doing. I was basically kind of mourning the lost in that sense, and so it made me, I guess, a little stronger. And I would cry on those walks at times too. I didn't let anybody see me cry. So that was my coping strategy. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever listen to songs that you related to, like the lyrics really felt heartfelt to you?
Well, what I listened to was just like songs. I can't recall at the time what specific songs, but to me, what was listening to U2 is just being overall overcoming. And that's basically how I saw some of the songs, like, Pride. You listen to that, it's like a tragic, but yet it's an impact that has,
like bittersweet.
yeah, that has taken, so, you look at it in that sense. So, yeah.
Like, was there anybody that kind of, like, helped you through it? Or, like, because you talked about that lady did you want to talk more about that lady? Like, didn't you say there's somebody that, like, was always, like, brought you food? Or, no?
What lady?
Like, didn't people, like, bring you, like, food to support you guys, your family?
Oh, when she passed away, a lot
Yeah.
of people brought us food. I mean, I know a lot of people. I mean, they took care of us. When somebody passed, people come forward. But I think it's a societal thing when people just come to you and they help you and support you. But, yeah, but individually help me with my mom's death, not that I can think of. Nobody did, really. I mean, and we didn't talk about it at home. I remember my dad asking, do you want to see a therapist? Because my dad was, how can I say, he knew about those stuff. Like, maybe I should ask them to see a therapist. And I remember saying no. And I'm sure he asked my siblings, and I think my brothers also said no. But I think my walks is what was my comfort, my overcoming and stuff. I mean, yeah, so that's basic. In regards to her passing, yes.
What did you, like, learn from your mom's death overall? Was there anything that you learned that really stuck out?
What did I learn from that? Gosh, it's a good thing. I mean, that life is short. She was just 47.
Yeah, it's
So
really
one
young.
thing that I learned was, oh my gosh, when I was reaching for, oh my gosh, I have to take care of my health. That is something that I learned to be healthy, be aware of it. I never miss. One thing I never miss is my doctor's appointment. I'm always there. Every year, no matter what,
Yeah.
I'm there. That is something that maybe I've learned from that, because I'm aware that, health is important. And so therefore, I'm constantly at my doctor's appointments. I don't miss them. I know people who go years without seeing their doctors. I don't. I go every so often for that reason. You learned that life goes on too. Life still moves. That's for sure. That's something that I definitely learned. I knew that life had not stopped. That, that some people are I mean, back then I didn't realize it, but some people get stuck in that stage, and it's hard for them to move on without that person. But for me, I knew that there was still life, and that you had to live, and you had to move on, and you had these goals and what have you. So, yeah.
Do you know, like, ways that your brothers coped? Or is it, like, similar to yours or different?
I think, no, theirs was different. In fact, I talked to my youngest one's brother, and he says, I don't understand why we never talked about mom after that. It was like, shh. It was hush. And I think it was, we didn't want to talk about it. So we all coped
Individually?
Because I think we just didn't want to talk about it for some reason, which we look back and which it is weird. How come we didn't talk about it? But I think that was our coping thing. We didn't want to talk about it. So he dealt with it in his own way. I know David dealt with it in his own ways. And, yeah. So.
Do you have any advice for anybody going through the same thing, like of losing a loved one?
It's a life passage. It's what life is. I think, although, I think what advice is that it's hard, but I think to always cherish the good memories and know that person was here to make an impact in your life, and just cherish that instead of dwelling on them not being here anymore. That, I think, is definitely something. I mean, we all come in the world, and we all leave it. And I think that's important to realize that, they come, whether it's a long time or a short time,
Mhm.
but it's just a way of life. So.
Is there anything else that you want to put in?
I think that's it.
All right. All right. Thank you very much for joining me, Mother.
Thank you, my child.